Hi everyone, welcome back to John Florio channel. I am Mary and I'm here to talk about the great John Florio. Guys, this is something that you will never read anywhere else. So take a pen, take a piece of paper and note everything. Maybe I can screenshot and write all this in details in the comments if you want. This is the heart of the attacks that Nashe and Greene did to Shakespeare, and it has to do with John Florio's writing method. In the last video I talked about the attacks that Florio received during his career. They were mainly done by the university wits, people like Nashe, Greene, George Peele, Christopher Marlowe, writers who attacked John Florio because he was a translator, and translators at the time were perceived as magpies. But Florio had something else. Florio's books had a huge success, not because Florio was an erudite author, but because they were the results of borrowing, stealing from other people. So let's make some examples. I made this huge list here just to show you the huge amount of sources that Florio had at command. Keep in mind this is very important. Florio's great talent did not lie in his erudition, but in two things. First, the great amount of books that he had. Second, his great talent in borrowing and readapting the works of his predecessors. This is the two main things that made Florio famous. And this is why he was so hugely attacked by Nashe, Greene, Peele and Christopher Marlowe. But let's make some example. When we talk about borrowing, we can think about the fact that at the time there was no copyright, okay? But there was a limit. What I mean that let's make some example with Florio's works and how he borrowed from other people. For example, First Fruits, written when Florio was 25 years old, he collaborated with the Lesseps company. Let's see the amount of books that Florio used to write this work. He used Ore di ricreazione by Guicciardini, Libro Aureo by Guevara, the English translation of Guevara's works by Lord Berners, the French translation of Libro Aureo by Berthaud de la Grille, the Italian translation of Libro Aureo by Portonares da Trino, and then he also borrowed from Petrarch, Ariosto, classic writers, Thomas North, The Dial of Princes. You see just the huge amount of sources that he used for a small manual. The manual, the First Fruits, is just like 50 pages. The total amount of pages of the work is about 70 pages of manual. For such a small work, he used all these sources. Let's move on. Second Fruits, the second language lessons manuals, in which he also added the collection of proverbs, garden recreation. The collection of proverbs that Florio published was the greatest work ever done at the time, because he published 6,000 Italian proverbs. Most of them are borrowed from other writers. In Second Fruits, Florio used Boccaccio's novels. He borrowed one novel of Boccaccio and he translated, readapted this novel in Second Fruits. Ariosto, Petrarch, Giordano Bruno, Ovid. Other anonymous works that Florio published are A Letter Lately Written from Rome. This was a work in which Florio borrowed the news that he received when he worked at the French embassy, and he translated, readapted this news from Italy, from France, from Spain as novels, with dramatic dialogues. And another work that he also published anonymously in 1591 was a collection of classic quotation witty sayings from his favorite ancient writers. So, all the works that Florio published, as you can see, are mainly the results of borrowings. And this was the main reason why he was so attacked by his enemies. To avoid plagiarism, Florio changed slightly the stories. He rewrote them by using his unique trademark, his writing style, alliteration, pomposity, rhetorical ornament. This is such an important topic, such an important story that you will never read anywhere else, and it's the heart of the whole attacks that Florio received during his career. And the Florio scholars don't mention because first, it is complex, second, it has connections with Shakespeare, so they prefer to avoid it. But now you can read the truth right here. So don't forget to subscribe. You get all this for free. So if you want to keep supporting me to do this research, don't forget to subscribe. Now we have a proof that Florio was attacked during his career, not just because he was perceived as a half stranger, half alien, but for his writing method. There was seen as that of a plagiarist. We have a proof in Montaigne's essays. As Florio himself admitted in the preface to the reader, his old fellow Nolano, so Giordano Bruno, taught him that from translations all science had its offspring. So he understood that by borrowing words and contents from other languages, sourcing and authors, and translating them, rewriting and adapting these works for English audience, a new beautiful science would have flourished in England. He wrote it. He wrote, "I am no thief, since I said, of whom I had it." What do the best then but glean after other harvests, borrow their colours, inherit their possessions? What do they but translate, perhaps usurp, at least collect? If we acknowledgement, it is well, if by stealth, it is too bad. In this our conscience is our accuser, posterity our judge, in that our study is our advocate, and you readers our jury. In this beautiful letter, in the epistle to the reader of Montaigne says, John Florio wasn't simply defending the art of translation. He was defending himself from the attacks that he received during his career. And with this, we will now get to the famous Upstart Crow, Italianate pen, and Johannes Factotum, cited by Thomas Nashe. Stay resolute. Bye.